Beep beep boop boop bam bam. Bam bam boom boom bam bam. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. This did not work out right. Me. I don't know what's going on here. This is not doing what it's supposed to do. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. Eh? Eh? I've got one viewer. Woo! Got myself. I gotta get you guys back to looking forward to these live streams. I think my mic is good. Check, check, check. Alright, so I'm just gonna. What? Dark Lineal. Simma. What up, man? How's it going? Wagwan. Good money now. What's up, T? What's up, good money now? Wait, what just happened? Oh, I got a couple people in here. I can't talk. I can't speak. My brother T, missed those shows of yours you used to do time ago. Much love. Yeah, I'm trying to get back, man. I'm trying to get back to it. Working a lot, so two jobs, man. Two jobs. It's tough, but I'm gonna get back to my regular. I can't speak. I can't speak right now. I'm gonna get back to my regular streams. Sunday nights. Sunday nights at hopefully 7:30 p.m. So hopefully that works out. We'll see. But that's my goal. Sunday nights, regular streams. Getting back to it. So yeah. But thanks for joining. Matthew Shea, gotta make that money. Yes, 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 yes. Just bought a new house, so that's a big part of it. Well, trying to re up the savings because we spend a lot of money, down payment, and all that good stuff. So, thumbs up the video. That's right. That's right. Some my boy Simzim. We go way back to the very beginnings of this channel. Um, it's time for me to like. I'll get into it later. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Um, so we're gonna talk, like the title says, we're gonna talk some Mario movie, remaster disaster, as I like to call it, and anticipated games for Switch this year. Can you guys hear me fine? I'm guessing you can hear me fine. Nobody's complained or said anything. I'm guessing my audio is good. My levels look good here, so I'm guessing that's the case. But you can let me know if you're still out there watching. Let me know. Let me pop out this chat so I can see, because I can't use my OBS window. It's too small. So I guess my audio's good. Nobody said anything. Yeah. So, all right. So I made a tweet yesterday. Like, I don't. I'm not sure when the what do you call it? What's it called? The notification or tweet or whatever went out talking about the Nintendo Direct about the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm not sure when that happened. I just saw it when I saw it, and I looked at the poster, and I saw something right away. Well, actually, no. Yeah, I did. And then I saw that my boy Clocked It had made a tweet about it, so I went and checked out his tweet, and he was talking about how he wasn't worried about it. It looked good based on the poster and whatnot. I agree. But there was one problem. There was one major problem with the poster, with basically with Mario's design, and that is Mario has pancake cheeks. um, I just kind of noticed that right away. I thought it was funny. He reminded me of uh, Penguin, like Danny DeVito's Penguin from Batman Returns. At the very end, when it's all pretty much lost, and he's kind of in his pajama little suit, and he's in the, I guess you would call it a fat suit that he's in, and he's in that, and he's looking really like disheveled and whatnot, and he just has the weirdest little eggy penguin butt. I don't know how to say it. And it Mario's from this movie looked very similar to that, so I just thought that was kind of funny, and I made a little comment on Clock this tweet about that, and that was funny. But yeah, so I didn't think it was Matthew Station needs to work them glutes. Yeah, it was a little joke to me, so I didn't think too much of it. Left it, and then not long after, and not to say that my tweet is what got it, because clearly I didn't get a lot of views or whatever. What's up, Levon? Um, like the whole internet had went crazy about Mario's cheeks, and people were making videos. And I'm like, I thought it was just some little isolated joke, or isolated thing that I caught. But no, everybody saw that Mario's gluteats were were deflated, and I think most people were kind of kidding about it. Maybe some people were serious. Some people were trying to be funny, saying it was a failure on the scale of Ugly Sonic, and so the whole movie needs to be reworked and get Mario's cheeks up to par. It's pretty funny, but yeah, but yeah. So it's cool that Nintendo. It's different. It's weird, obviously. They're doing a Nintendo Direct about the movie, so we're gonna get like more information. I'm guessing about the film. Um, a full redo is necessary, says Matthew Shea. Gonna be Captain Marvel all over again, says Paul. Um, yeah, it's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, it's really really different that Nintendo's doing a direct based on their movie, the Mario movie. They obviously want it to be successful. They know that Nintendo fans, especially, will jump on any direct. So it's smart. Um, and if it looks good, hopefully it does. It'll be word of mouth, and people will get excited and want to bring other people to the movie. Looks good. I'm definitely gonna take the family to watch it. We went and saw Sonic, so definitely gonna check out Mario. Mario is my favorite, as most of you guys probably know. Um, but yeah, it's just it's pretty cool. They put out that poster. A lot of people have been like really scanning over the poster to see who's doing what, or try to figure out like what's going on in the movie. Basically, I think Mario movie is going to do good, says Levon. I think so too. As long as it's not terrible, I think it'll be, I think it'll be a good movie, at least good. I would like it to be great. It's got a really good cast, voice cast, so that's awesome. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm excited for it. And I like the look of the poster, like with the basically Toad Castle Town, and Peach's Castle up on a hill, and with all the pipes and all that stuff going on. Retro Death Mario is the sunshine that pierces your heart. Don't bring up sunshine, all right? We're trying to have a good time here. um, well, yeah, looks really good. Looks great. Um, and it's like the Mario 64 basically style, which is ever since that game came out, Peach's Castle has been basically a play on that style with the stained glass Peach window, and they're bringing that back clearly. If you look at the poster, um, and if I were to speculate, this looks like Mario's first like entrance into the Mushroom Kingdom, with the way he's kind of standing there, and Toad looks to be guiding him. That one Toad in the foreground, the one that looks like Captain Toad but isn't Captain Toad, I guess. So it looks like he's been transported into the Mushroom Kingdom, so he's probably coming from the real world, which is interesting. Retro Death. Wonder if the direct will truly be more than a trailer. Super Mario movie, the game reveal, yo. That'd be great. I think it'll be more than a trailer, because if it was just a trailer, they would just drop the trailer. Them making it a direct, I think they're gonna delve into it a little bit, not give too much, but kind of talk about maybe the process of putting the movie together. I'm sure Miyamoto will be in there, and they'll just kind of talk about that. Maybe they'll give a tiny bit of story elements. I don't think they'll go too much into that, but it'll be interesting to see. Uh, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be really cool. The fact that Donkey Kong's going to be in it. I've seen people speculate about Princess Daisy being in it, because they saw her like symbol on the trailer, or not trailer, on the poster. You can see like her little Daisy emblem. So, or I mean, it could be, or it just could be just a homage, or a little Easter egg. It'd be weird to have her in the game, or in the game, her in the movie as well. I think it'd be a little confusing, but it looks like I said, Mario is coming from the real world or somewhere, and he's seeing the Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, and it's I think that's cool. Because I want him to come from the real world. I want him to be, I want him to be Mario from Brooklyn, New York. I want him to be that plumber, because Nintendo's kind of pushed away from that, or kind of shied away from the plumber thing aspect. I think even Miyamoto, I don't know if he was misinterpreted, but he had said some years ago that Mario is no longer a plumber, and I'm like, come on, man, you can't take the plumber out of Mario. Um, Zelda post credit scene says Retro Dev. Yeah, people like going off the deep end about, oh, it could be like a MCU thing where the post credit and you get to see other stuff. I just make this movie good before we start worried about all that. Um, I need to start live action Brooklyn. Yeah, yeah, and that's another thing is like, are people humans that is in Brooklyn going to look like Mario as far as like kind of exaggerated look, exaggerated features, or will they look like in New Donk City, and where they look like normal, you know, looking humans, and Mario looked very different as far as his build and height. I wonder. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, art style wise. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I I need him to be a plumber from Brooklyn. I need him. I need to get back. I need Nintendo to get back to that and not shy away from it. I also noticed like his hair is different. Like he doesn't have the kind of curly kind of coif that he has in a lot of the renders. Um, so it looks like kind of straight hair coming out of his hat. I noticed that, but who cares? I mean, and those little things aren't that big a deal as long as he doesn't look crazy when we kind of see him, and long as he doesn't sound crazy. Um, and people are like, "Oh, is it just going to be Chris Pratt talking?" No, he said he's doing a voice, and I love the little. I think it was a tweet where he little tweet video where he's like, "It's a me, Mario," like that was going to be his voice. That's funny. But he's going to do a voice. I'm guessing it won't be like Charles Martinet. Is it Martinet or Martinet? I never remember. It's not going to be like that where because I think that voice would drive you insane, especially if he's the lead character. You probably get tired of it for 2 hours or whatever. So I don't think that's going to be the thing. It's going to be exciting though. I think it's going to be cool. They pushed it back. I think that was a good idea to get away from Avatar. A lot of people think I don't know why that Avatar is who cares? Nobody cares. Uh, People, I think was it 60 million it just made. Avatar re-release just made like $60 million or something, and it's still making more money. The movie has now crossed 2.9 billion. People just think, oh, I don't care about Avatar, so nobody does. Not true. I'm excited for Avatar. I know a lot of Avatar people who loved that movie back in the day, who I've been sitting around waiting for these sequels that have been talked about for, you know, all these years, and finally, um, let's see. Matthew Shea said it's probably gonna be like Wizard of Oz, only Mario style. Yeah, that would be cool. Retro Death, it's a me, Yahoo, Wahoo, Peachy, hello, hello, Wahoo. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be much of that. He might give you a Wahoo here or there, but it won't be to the extent that Martinet does. And Martinet, Charles Martinet. I'm gonna say Martinet. He does have some voice credits. He's gonna be voicing other characters. I can't remember which ones that they told us, but so that's cool that he's just not going to be completely forgotten. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be. That's going to be one of the things I'm looking forward to in this trailer tomorrow. How is he going to sound, and just how is the movie going to look, and uh, how's the story going to go? I don't need the whole story. I'm sure it's not going to be that deep. It's not like, oh, is it going to spoil the story? So I don't think it's going to be that deep. We know we've played Mario games for what 35 years now, 35 plus years. So it's not like we don't know probably what the gist of it's going to be. But the fact that they're putting Donkey Kong in it kind of changes things a little bit. So we'll see where they go with that. But yeah, I'm excited. What do you guys think? I know I don't have that many people here watching, but um, yeah, let me know. And then we'll move on. What's my second topic? Oh yeah, remasters. I'm gonna do a separate video on it too, but I wanted to kind of talk about that. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Mario. Proper animated Mario film. It looks like we're starting to become in the era of video games, where it took Hollywood a while to figure out how to do superhero movies, and we got that. Basically, I think Blade is the one that really started it, although it doesn't get the credit. Blade kind of started, well, at least on the Marvel side. On the DC side, uh, obviously you had Batman's and you had Superman before that. But we all know that both of those franchises faltered. Superman first with 3 and 4, and Batman also with 3 and 4. The first two were good. Batman Forever was all right. I enjoyed Batman Forever, but Batman and Robin, good God. And then Marvel just never got it right, and so they finally figured it out. And Blade was the first one to really get it right. People want to skip over and step over Blade into the first Spider-Man movie, but Blade was that movie, and it did really well. And we got a fantastic sequel from my man Guillermo del Toro. Um, and then I don't know. Again, three Blade Trinity was terrible. I don't know what it is about the third one. Again, Spider Man. It wasn't Spider Man 3 wasn't terrible, but it was a super huge letdown. Um, I don't know what happened. By the third movie, people are just over it, I guess, and they want to move on. Even the Dark Knight trilogy, um, where Dark Knight Rises, it's a solid movie, but it has a lot of holes, a lot of plot holes. Great villain though. Um, Great cinematography, all that good stuff. It's still one of the best third movies in the superhero uh, movie genre, but yeah, it seems like they're figuring out. They figured out. Obviously, they figured out the superhero genre, sort of make it solid, adaptations of that, and now they're getting into video games, where the first video game movies were pretty bad. Uh, Blade Trinity had some good ideas, bad direction. Yeah, Matthew. Well, the thing is, I'm sure you know, um, David Goyer took over as director. He's no director. He's barely a writer. No, that's not fair. He's good in certain ways with his writing. And he took over directing, and he wasn't. He's no director. Because if he was, he still be directing stuff. Um, but no, there were some good ideas in there. I like the idea of Blade getting basically arrested, and uh, kind of what's not convicted, but what do they call it? Uh, Well, they, the charges were he was basically killing people, because that was what, and it kind of was realistic, but they kind of left that alone. They just kind of put that idea out there, and then he just forgot about it and didn't care after he escaped from, or after he was broken out uh, by by Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds is basically Deadpool in that movie too. Um, and what's her name? Jessica Biel. Is it Jessica Biel? Um, who listened to iPod music while murdering vampire. It was very strange. Very strange. Um, that seems like something that would be cool in like a comic. The whole iPod. She listened to music as she, and it was so, yeah. It was kind of poorly written. And we all know that Wesley Snipes was kind of let's say hard to deal with in that movie. But basically, like I was saying, I think they're starting to figure out how to adapt video games. We've had some really good stuff on Netflix. Uh, Mostly animated stuff. Like Arcane was amazing. Castlevania was great. Um, we're getting Gravity Rush, I think, which is weird, but I think that would make a great anime as well. Um, Obviously, The Last of Us looks good to me for HBO. Um, there's other stuff coming too. I think Sony's doing some stuff. They're doing like Gran Turismo movie and Twisted Metal TV show. I think, which could be interesting. Um, I think that probably should be a movie, like a Death Race 3000 type of movie. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with it. But we got I can't remember the subtitle, but the Cyberpunk anime on Netflix is really good. I haven't finished it yet. Got to finish it, but yeah. So now we got, and also the Sonic movies, which are both solid. I like them both. I actually like the second one a little better. Um, so it's Mario's turn to get it right. Obviously, we got Super Mario Brothers in 1993. Was it 93 or 92? Can't remember. And it was it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I like watching it. Anytime it's on, I'll watch it. Um, I really hope Netflix doesn't mess up Horizon. Oh yeah, Horizon. What are they gonna call it? I guess they're gonna call it Zero Dawn because the that's the main story of the whole thing. But how are they gonna do that? I'm guessing that's gonna be in. I hope it's gonna be an animation. I don't think it's gonna be live action. That's gonna be super expensive and not gonna look great. And it's like the Halo TV show. Like it should have just been a movie. Take the I don't know however many millions of dollars you're doing per episode and just make it a movie. Make it a movie and be done with it instead of having to have these long stretches because your budget, you can't afford it to have action in every episode. Um, that didn't work out well. I think Halo should have just been a movie, and that's it. My most anticipated game is Bayonetta 3. Oh, really? Wait till we get to mine, Tyrese. Um, and I actually want to talk about Bayonetta 3. But yeah, so it's good. I think they're finally figuring out video games. Uncharted, no. I mean, Sony. I'm worried about Sony. Sony has a lot of misses. Um, and Uncharted to me was one of them. I watched it. Um, I mean, I like. Oh my God, what's his name? Plays Spider Man. I like the kid, but he's no Nathan Drake. He's just not. Um, it was supposed to be Mark Wahlberg. The movie was supposed to be made like 10 years ago, but it just kept getting pushed, and so Mark Wahlberg ends up playing the old guy, even though he's not really old enough to play. Oh my God, what is his name? I tell you, you start doing these live streams, you just forget everything. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Anyway, but yeah, let's see. They turned some Halo web shorts into a movie not long ago. Thought that was better than the Paramount series. Yeah, obviously the budgets aren't great for those, but they were still way more enjoyable. I mean, way more enjoyable than that horrible Paramount show that got greenlit for a second season. I don't care. I couldn't get through the first season, so I definitely don't care about a second season. And I just hate the pretentiousness of, oh, we know better than what the fans should have. Sully, thank you, RetroDef. Um, we know better than what the fans know. Like, you have fans who are fans of this franchise for 20 plus years, and oh, we have a better idea of what Master Chief is. No, you can't do that. Like, that's just not what you do. Um, you make Master Chief who he is, what we know him to be, um, and that's it. I mean, there's no, yeah, you can add some extra stuff in there because there's not a ton about Master Chief, at least as far as I know. I'm a casual to core fan of the Halo series. Like, I haven't gotten into everything, but I've played and beaten all the main games. I haven't gotten to like ODST yet. I haven't played Halo Wars. I have them, but I just haven't gotten to play them yet. Um, and obviously, it came out years ago, so shame on me. But yeah, I hope you know they continue to get better with these adaptations for video games because they've been pretty good. They've been better they've been good most of the time with a couple of misses like Halo and Uncharted. But Uncharted was like a contractual thing where it's like, well, we got to have Mark Wahlberg in it because we signed him on to be in it, even though he should have been Nathan Drake. He would have been a more acceptable Nathan Drake, although I wanted Nathan Fillion. I've always wanted him to play Drake. He was just perfect for it. But he's never been like a leading big actor, and I think that was one of the main problems. But if you can't, then you get somebody bigger for Sully. You get a seasoned actor, well-known actor, to play Sully. Uh, but obviously we didn't get that. We got Peter Parker Drake, which didn't work. Then that just doesn't work. He doesn't. You gotta have the. You don't have the roguishness necessary. It's just not his personality. It's just not his character type. So anyway, but yeah, looking forward to Mario Brothers. I think it's called Super Mario Brothers movie. I don't know if that's a working title or if that's the final title. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But that's gonna be cool. So obviously, recently, mostly on the Sony side, but it's industry wide. But recently on the Sony side, that short film with Fillion was perfect. Sony just went their own way. Agreed, Matthew Shea. Like that was great. He he definitely uh, rallied for that role. I still think he should have got it, but and obviously he's a little bit older than you would want probably, but he still looks young enough to play Nathan Drake. But anyway, yeah. So obviously we got Last of Us Part One, which is the remaster of Last of Us, which we didn't really need. At least I don't think so, because we got Last of Us on PS3, then we got the remaster on PS4, which was a pretty good remaster. And then they again put it out on PS5 with more enhancements. It's not like they didn't do anything, but for $70, and that's just egregious. And not Sony like because they've done in the past full on remakes and put them out for $40. Like Shadow of the Colossus is one. That's like a full on ground up remake. Um, and they've done like remastered trilogies and whatnot on PS3 that were still $40 that weren't full price. So anyway, the info out there is that Horizon Zero Dawn is getting one, which is just crazy. It's just crazy. There's no reason for that game to get a remaster at this point. We just got Horizon Forbidden West. People are saying, "Oh, maybe it's because of the movies and the TV shows they're putting out. They want to put out a new game for that." But I'm like, Horizon Forbidden West just came out. That's a new game for that series. A lot of people are going to be playing that, and they're going to be familiar with it for the show. Um, Sony got hacked. Word on the street they remake Horizon 1 for $70. Yeah, that's crazy. It's insane. Um, but I'm not saying that because it's Sony. I also did not like $60 ports from Wii U to Switch, and a lot of Nintendo fans got on me about that. I'm consistent. Like, first of all, I'm not paying $70 for a video game, um, probably ever, at least not yet, because we've never gotten a benefit for for, for digital games. They've decided to just take all that money and keep it all themselves. Obviously, if they're putting games in retail space, they have to put a percentage to the shelf holder. But when we get a digital copy of that same game that doesn't have wrapping, that doesn't have to worry about being trucked to the facility, that doesn't have plastic case and a disc and all that stuff that would cost more money, they still charge the exact same much, and I've never liked that, and I that's why I don't like digital games. That's one of the reasons. Obviously, I don't like the fact that you lose control of your product that you paid for. Um, and yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 is already 4K 60 on PC. I don't think it's that on. It might be. I don't know. I don't know if they upped it to 4K 60 on PS5, but I'll take your word for it. If they don't add in new stuff like melee combat among other improvements, then I don't know why they're bothering. Well, they're bothering because their fans will defend it and they'll pay and they'll buy it. They're not putting this out there because they think nobody's gonna buy it. I think the industry as a whole is remaster crazy, um, and I'm mostly fine with remaster remakes as long as it's priced accordingly and not treated like it's a brand new game. Um, that's my main problem, and it it's not to the detriment of new games. That's my hope is that it doesn't affect new games being made. It's not a resource hog to where you're not getting new games. That's what I'm worried about. Um, Samuel Einhorn, I think they do that to not upset their retail partners as well as nickel and dime us. Yeah, I mean I understand that. Like if if they're charging less for the digital game, people would maybe decide, oh, I'm not gonna buy that game. I'm not gonna buy the physical game because it's cheaper to buy it digitally. Um, I get it, but maybe offer some other incentive. That's not completely monetary. Um, how about here's an idea. Um, do what digital movies do or the movie market does, where if you buy the physical thing, you also get like a digital code, so you get that convenience. So I feel like if I buy the physical game, I have the physical and a digital game. Um, Whereas if I just bought the digital game, all I have is digital thing. Give some kind of incentive that won't piss off retailers, um, for your fans. And it'll be an incentive for your fans to say, okay, well, it's not that bad that they're both the same price. There's things they can do. Um, let's see. Inner Black Ninja, what's up? They need to remaster their imagination fool. Seriously. I'm with you on that. Um, I was going to say that, yeah, that's standard with home video. Yeah, home video. That's a cool thing that I really like. So give some kind of incentive for that. But if people continue to buy this stuff, so people are like, well, why do you care? Don't buy it if you don't like it. Yes, we all understand that we don't have to buy this stuff, and I would hope that people complaining about it don't buy it. Although I know some of them still go out and buy it. Why are you complaining if you're gonna still go out and buy it? But to the people who aren't gonna buy it and do complain, we hope other people don't buy it because that will still affect us. That will affect us as far as, oh, they're just going to put out these remasters all the time instead of giving us new games. That is a worry. And also the cost. If you say it's okay to pay $70 for a remaster, um, even a remake of a game that came out before, that's going to affect everybody, not just the people who buy the game. It's going to drive up prices for everything. The more people buy digital, the less physical games come out, and the less they care about what's actually on the disc. So it's affecting me as well. Like, I still want to buy my physical games, but because everybody's buying digital, I'm going to get screwed. So that's why people complain and say, I hope you guys don't do it, or try to tell other people not to do it. Because regardless of what I do, what everybody else is doing is going to affect me in the long run. It's going to bring up the prices for the games I like to play. It's going to be a resource hog, and maybe I don't get a sequel that I want. I end up just getting another remaster instead of a sequel, or a new IP. Instead of working on a new IP, that's kind of risky. Especially, game development is, game creating these games is very expensive. So a lot of these companies are risk averse. They don't want to take a risk on new stuff. And if people just keep buying old stuff, then they won't make new stuff. So what other people do does affect me and does affect the people who don't want anything to do with this stuff. So that's why people talk about it. Oh, just don't buy it. Just don't buy it doesn't work because I'm not gonna buy it. But if everybody else does, I'm still gonna be affected by it negatively. Where is my drink and drink? Oh, there it is. So I don't know why I got scratchy voice all of a sudden. I haven't done one of these in a while. I guess my voice is like, what's going on? It's all this talking stuff. Let's see. Tyrese. Switch games is on the physical cartridge and the save data on the SD card, the same as PS2. But even some Switch games aren't fully on the card. As you know, you still have to end up downloading stuff. That's why the Switch have over PS5, Xbox, the next gen. But most of the games are on the card, overwhelmingly. So, Retro Death. If people don't complain, we get ugly Sonic. Facts. If people didn't complain about that, we would have got ugly, weird looking Sonic. Well, just don't go see the movie. Well, that doesn't work because I'm happy to see a Sonic movie as a fan. Just don't watch it. That's not an option. That's lazy. That is you trying to white knight and protect companies and corporations for what? Like, let's get a better product. Let's advocate for better things. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Inner Black Ninja. Excuse me. I would rather them take the skills and talent and make something new and different. Yes, because that's going to be not just better for us, but that's also better for the industry. That they continue to move forward and make new things. It's not just better for us as gamers, because not everything they make is going to be good. New things just because it's new doesn't mean it's going to be good automatically. But it will keep the industry fresh and going forward instead of stagnating, which is what happened during the crash. I read that already. Samuel Einhorn. Some PS5 games do that. I don't see why not putting a download code in physical copy shouldn't be a standard. Yeah, and that's also a good way to ease people like myself into digital gaming. Maybe I'll get so enthralled with that convenience that I won't even care about getting a physical game. I doubt that, but there's some people that would probably work for. Giving them a digital code, and obviously you don't want people to buy or get the digital code. I don't know how it works in movies because I haven't done it that much. I guess maybe you have to set up an account to where you can't just hand that disc to somebody else. So it's like having two games. But yeah, hopefully that's not the case. But we can figure it out. I think they can figure it out. There's a lot of stuff that's pretty amazing that they do in the industry. I don't see why they couldn't figure that stuff out. I'd rather have them, says Inner Black Ninja, I'd rather have them take the gamble on that than play the same stuff. Yeah. Agreed. Crazy old school. I don't like digital games being full price. Yeah, me neither. But who was it that made the good point that it's a retailer thing? You don't want to anger the retailers by having a cheaper version of your game somewhere else. I get that, but like I said, there's ways you can incentivize people, who do just buy that game digitally or something like that. So yeah, I don't want to be on the soapbox too long, but I, I'm a physical advocate because I don't like, something I bought. I don't like the company to have further control over it after I bought it. I bought it. I should be able to do what with. I should be able to do with it what I will, what I want, within reason, obviously, within the law. Um, but I should be able to, you know, I should have the freedom to do with it what I want once I purchased it. I mean, I don't own the code and none of that stuff. We all understand that. But that physical thing, I like having ownership of that because, down the line, I can still play that. Like, imagine you see all these freaking games behind me. Um, if, we're in an age where um, digital was already a big thing starting back then, we'd be so far removed from this stuff, like we'd have no control whatsoever. People say, "Oh, it's cheap." The stores are cheap. You get deals all the time. Do you think that will still be the case when it's all digital? Do you think you're gonna get these sales because they have total control? You think you'll still get the same sales once the company has total control over that game? I don't think so. I don't think you know you. I don't think you'll get as many sales, and I don't think you'll get as cheaper sales because it's like, what else are you gonna do? You have to buy our digital copy. There's no other way to play this game. You can't buy a physical copy. You can't buy a used copy. When companies get all that control, you're gonna be in trouble, and it's gonna be too late by then. See, Tyrese Keller. I have my Switch for exclusives and indie games. All those games fit on the physical cartridge. I don't get third-party AAA games on the Switch because I have an Xbox for that. I'm pretty much the same. Although I'm buying more. Uh, I'm playing more games on my Steam Deck, more of the indie games. But if I can find a physical copy of that indie game, I will still buy it for my Switch because I still want the physical copy. And I'll just play it on Steam Deck. So I'll put that sealed copy away, and at least I still have ownership of it. If I want to go back to it at some point, and Steam isn't around anymore, um, I'll still have the physical game to go back to. And that's the thing. Once all these digital stores are gone, and your hard drive fails, and you can't re-download the game, what do you do at that point? Like, are you not worried about that? I get some culturally, I don't like it because I care about the culture of video games. I understand that a lot of gamers just don't. Video games is just entertainment to them. It's kind of throwaway entertainment. They play it once they play it, they're done with it, throw it away. They don't care. Um, I think that's going to affect quality of games at some point. That mentality. But I just also don't like the fact I am a person that cares about preservation and the culture of video games, and I don't want um, that legacy to go away because if the companies have complete control, like I said, um, you'll get what they want to give you, instead of being able to have access to this stuff when you want to and not have to rely on the companies. RIP Stadia. That's a case in point. Now they're refunding everybody, which is great. But when you have an all digital, all cloud situation, and that company goes belly up, or they just give up the way Google gives up on everything, then it's just over. You lose everything. You lose that library. My Steam library is not mine. uh, if Valve goes under, all those games are gone. You know, um, they said something in their clause that they will allow you to like copy those games over to something else if that would ever happen. And I think Valve would actually do that. Um, but that's just an example. Matthew Shea says digital only. They have expiration dates. Sure, it's far out, but the service could go defunct um, before then, and then you're up Shit's Creek, which is a really good show that I haven't gotten to yet. My wife watched it. Levy's Eugene Levy. Not well. I can he is in it, right? Yeah. He actually and his son's like the main star of it. But yeah, once you give him all the control, you're screwed. So I will be right back. Hang on, guys. I need to make sure my kitties are in bed. Um, I don't have all my little overlays in this yet. That's why I'm late because I was trying to find them. All my I'll be back. I'll be right back overlays. So I'm just gonna do it real ghetto here. Where is OBS? All right. So I'm just gonna mute my mic, and I will be right back. So hang on. Excuse me. Why do I have two mics? What's that other one? I'm gonna leave again in a minute, but I'll be back. Uh, yeah, if you don't tell your kids to go to bed, they won't go. Oh, I don't. I didn't know what time it was. Yeah, whatever. Then they'll be whining in the morning. I'm tired. Well, should have took your butt to sleep. Let's see. Samuel Ihern, how many libraries carry video games? I know there's some that do, but I've heard that Nintendo have lobbyists that keep nonprofit groups from preserving video games. Wow, that I had not heard. If that's true, that's just terrible. Um, I believe I read that during the time the 3DS Wii U eShop closure was first announced. I'm pretty sure my public library has games, but I'm sure it's very few at this point. And I saw a very disturbing, sad statistic recently where I think it was on the PlayStation side where it was a 80-20 split, 80 digital, 20 physical. That's just the saddest. And it seemed like it happened really quickly. But part of it is also the size of games. You can't really fit them on Blu-rays. Um, because you have Call of Duties are over 100 gigs, and a Blu-ray I think dual layer is just about 100 gigs. Most games aren't that big. Most games you can get on a Blu-ray, especially with compression and whatnot. But games are just getting bigger and bigger because the higher the resolution, the bigger the size, uh, um, of the files. Because you're using 4K textures and whatnot, 4K resolution. As a video guy, I just know the 4K video is just bigger, and as far as also HD audio and whatnot, so audio files take up a lot of space as well. So it's just the nature of the beast. You can't fit um, these games on some of these games you just can't fit on disc anymore. So digital is just it is what it is. Um, so at some point, it's going to be, there's going to be nothing left. But I think at that point, I'll start buying way less games than I do right now, and I'll just be more of a retro gamer, and I'll just try to accumulate more of the older stuff. Where did I put my? It's all the way down. All right, there's nothing left in here now. But yeah, that's just where we are right now. Sadly, eventually it's going to be digital. Um, and eventually cloud will be bigger than it is, and you won't even have a lot of people won't even have those digital files. They'll just have the cloud. Um, I you know I play cloud on my Steam Deck. Let's see. Oh no, I just lost my light messing around. Let's see if I can get it to turn back on here. All right, all right. So let's see. Oops, I just turned it off by mistake. Let me turn it back on. There's my Steam Deck. All right, so let me go to my library. Turn this down because I'm sure it's loud. All right, non-Steam. Then we go. I got way too many games in here. Why isn't it? Why isn't my stuff more separated? Oh, there it is. So, see if you can see that good. Uh, so much. I have the freaking screen protector, or yeah, on here, which makes it really hard to see. There, so you can see that is Xbox Cloud Gaming. So I can play like Game Pass and whatnot on here, and it's pretty good. Um, I use my phone, my cell phone, 4G connection, and depending on the game, it's not great for every game, but actually, my job's Wi-Fi is decent enough to where I can play, non like Twitch games. I don't mean Twitch the website, but like shooters and whatnot. But I've played through what's the game that's just came on Switch that is Zelda like? Why can't I think of the name? Tunic. Tunic. I played mostly on cloud. I played a lot of the Gunk on cloud. That forgotten game. I played a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy on cloud. So it's actually pretty good. It's better than people think. And if a guy like me can do it, then what's going on with my light? I think it'll catch on. It'll catch on eventually, once it gets a little better. My light keeps flickering for some reason. I don't know. Let's see. Am I missing anything here? PS5 X. Where am I? Where am I? Oh yes, Tyrese Kelly says PS5, Xbox Series X games is on the SSD, not the Blu-ray disc. That's what I hate most about next-gen consoles. What's the point of collecting physical games for next-gen consoles when the data is not on the CD, and plus the 1 terabyte SSD don't last long, right? It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. Nintendo Switch 2 going to launch with the next Zelda. It happens every generation. Um, yeah, we'll see on that. I don't know. I did a video about Switch fatigue. Um, I think at least they should at least announce when they want to put out a new console or an upgrade or whatever they're gonna do. Um, because as a Nintendo fan, longtime Nintendo fan, my internal Nintendo hardware clock has expired, and I'm. It's like okay, now it's time for new hardware. My internal clock is telling me it's time for new hardware, and it doesn't seem to be anywhere in sight. So, but yeah, what I got? I went from like remasters to um, digital only, which don't really go together, but it's still gaming. What can I say? Um, and in a minute, we'll get into my final topic. I gotta go again, make sure the kids are in bed. I know they brushed their teeth, but now I gotta make sure they're in bed. And I will be right back. So give me. All right, I'm back. What the? Pardon me. Got to do dad things. Daddy got to be daddy. Um, let's see. Every Nintendo console launch with Zelda besides Wii U. What? No. Nintendo consoles launch with Mario up until GameCube. So NES was Super Mario Brothers. Super NES was Super Mario World, and N64 was Mario 64. It wasn't until Wii, and it was sporadic. We got Twilight Princess at launch, which was a GameCube game, very similar to the Switch situation. Wii U didn't get a Zelda at launch, um, but Switch got a Zelda at launch. They got Wii U's Zelda game, which is Breath of the Wild. So, Ocarina of Time launch a year after N64. No, Ocarina of Time came out 2 years after 64. It came out in 1998, fall of '98. It was October '98, I think. Um, yeah, because N64 came out in '96. '98 is when Ocarina. '98 was a great year for N64. It was a great year for the industry. Period. You got Metal Gear Solid on PS1. You got Half Life. You got Ocarina of Time. You got Banjo Kazooie. There's just really good stuff coming out that year. Um, Matthew Shea, I expect next Switch 2024. Mario Odyssey sequel and Mario Kart 9 would be system sellers, and maybe a Zelda port to take advantage of the new hardware. Yeah, that would be a good idea. You need a system seller at launch, um, and a Mario or now a Zelda, which Zelda's always sold well, at least in the West. But now they're bona fide system sellers with Breath of the Wild. So yeah. All right, so we'll move on to the final topic, and that is my dog barking, or my daughter's dog barking. And that's not the topic. It is most anticipated game of the year for Switch. Mine is a surprise. At least to me, it's a surprise. Uh, but somebody mentioned earlier Bayonetta 3. If somebody would have told me it wasn't going to be my most anticipated game the year it came out on Switch a couple years ago, let's say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I'd be like, "What? That's crazy." But Nintendo, I feel like Nintendo hasn't done a whole lot to get me excited about Bayonetta 3. I don't think the marketing has been great for it. This is a game that's coming out this month, and I haven't seen much of anything for it. It's coming out in a couple weeks, right? Um, where I haven't seen any marketing for it whatsoever. Um, that's a surprise to me. It makes me worried. But is the game any good? I don't know. I hope. I mean, I'm guessing it is. But I'm a little surprised, and it's kind of hurt my excitement for it. Because Bayonetta, just like Tyrese is saying there, Bayonetta 2 is a masterpiece. It is. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite Wii U games for sure. Probably top three, four on Wii U. Um, and coming out of that game, you got really excited for the next installment. And I'm just not. I don't have the excitement that I thought I would have for it at this point. And I think a lot of that is Nintendo's fault because they haven't really marketed it that much. They haven't really gotten me that excited for it. Um, and I don't know if that's because they don't want to spend the money because they don't feel like the game is that great. I don't think I don't think it would be Devil's Third bad because I remember Nintendo famously didn't want to spend any money on that. They didn't even want to sell it in the West, but there was so much fan backlash that I feel like they basically put the game out quietly just to appease the small number of fans who bought it, like myself. Um, Corona says, "Are you saying Nintendo was Devil's Third in Bayonetta 3?" It feels like it a little bit. Um, Again, I don't think Bayonetta 3 would be anywhere near as bad as Devil's Third was. And actually, I had a lot of fun with Devil's Third. I know it's bad. Um, it's not bad in a way like it doesn't work. It's bad in a way that it's super bland and nowhere near all the kind of excitement for it. It didn't live up to any of that. It's just really basic. Um, it's not like it's so bad it's good. It controls terrible because it doesn't. It controls really good. Um, it looks very decent for a Wii U game. It's just very kind of basic and bland. Um, but Devil's Starting, that's a that's an adjective there, huh? I hope that's not the case. It feels like that's what's going on, but I hope that's not the case because that would mean Bayonetta 3 isn't good. Um, has there been any previews? Like I don't think there's been anything. Has anybody played the game and talked about it? How they've been at a convention or something? I don't remember hearing anything about it. And that wasn't the case for Bayonetta 2. It was everywhere. It was a pretty good marketing campaign, and it didn't live up to the marketing campaign. And maybe Nintendo just feels like, okay, even though this is a good game, it just can't find an audience. So we won't put a lot of money and resources into marketing it. Have I played Bayonetta 2? Oh, yes. Bayonetta 2, like I said, is one of my favorite games on Wii U. Played the crap out of that game. I love the mechanics. I love the fighting mechanics. I love the witch time and all that good stuff. I love the speed of it. I played Bayonetta 1 on 360. That's the first time I played Bayonetta 1. And then I never finished it on 360, but I played it the year my son was born. And he's now 12. So, quite some time ago. My God, time flies, man. But yeah, I love Bayonetta 1 and 2. I like 2 better, but not by a whole lot. I just think it's visually more appealing than the first one. But that's an epic final boss battle in the first one. My goodness, crazy. Um, but yeah, I would have thought again a couple years ago that it would have been my most anticipated game, whatever year it came out, Bayonetta 3, and it's not. It is, like I said earlier, surprisingly. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! I just banged my Steam Deck. Oh, that's fine. Just on a cup. It is. Oh my gosh, I can't see myself here. Let me. Where's my? There it is. Here's my most anticipated this year. Mario plus Rabbids. Obviously, this is for Kingdom Battle. But this is how much I like this game. Wait, I'm not done yet. That's one statue. All right. Here is another Rabbit Luigi. So I got Rabbit Mario and Rabbit Luigi. At some point, because it's in my queue, I'm gonna get Rabbit Peach. And I think there's another one out there. But yeah, this game came out in 2017 and just surprised the heck out of everybody. I think definitely surprised me because I'm not a Rabbids fan. Um, just not a fan of Rabbids, and I had no hope for this game. I thought it was going to be kind of shovelware when we got the leaks because it leaked out, and there was a lot of kind of dismissing of it and oh that looks terrible. What are they doing? And it was one of my favorite games that year, and one of my favorite games on Switch overall. Love Mario plus Rabbids. Love the mechanics of it. And that's actually I was a little worried about them going away from the grid system because I like the grid system. I thought it was really cool, strategic, but Even though it's not a straight up grid, the mechanics are still similar, even though it's more open, from what I hear. So um, I'm I'm thinking this is going to be really good too, and I'm excited for it, man. I'm really excited for Sparks of Hope. The first game was very good. Um, my computer wants me to restart now. No, um, but I'm just really excited for the game. I think it's going to be great. It looks really good. That was the thing about uh, Kingdom Battle. That is one of the best looking games on. I'm about to say N64 on the Switch. Um, a lot of the animation, the cutscenes and stuff, look really good. I'm talking like maybe not Pixar level, but maybe Illumination level. Some of them look really good. All of them did. All the cutscenes look great. The animation and stuff was great. So I'm excited that this game's gonna be like what do you call it? More like more open. Because that was a mild frustration of mine. The kind of viewing angle and the whole idea of exploring, because there was exploring in the game, but it was really limited, obviously. So I'm looking forward to that being opened up a bit. Let's see, Guarana Devil's Third as well had fun, but not a great game. I'm guessing. Bayonetta 3 for me isn't selling me as much as if the previews had red blood instead of Xenoblade X teal colored blood. I know I'm weird, says Guarana. Um, Tyrese Kelly's GameSpot and Game Explain play Bayonetta 3. They confirm it's 60 frames per second. Nintendo chose the FPS route over graphics, but hopefully the OLED screen hide the downgrading graphics. I'm not worried about, as long as it looks as good as Bayonetta 2. I'm fine. It doesn't need to look visually better. I want it to be fast and fluid. Um, I want it to be varied in its design and its art style. That's the one thing I think that's somewhat lacking, because we haven't seen a whole lot um, of the game. So I don't know if the art style is varied enough. That was my one gripe, if you will, about Bayonetta 1. It's visually, it was not as appealing as 2. Like, it didn't have the kind of more colorful art style. So I'm hoping that we just haven't seen enough to judge that stuff yet. But I hope it's really good. Let's see. I think I got everybody's chat there. What were you guys talking about earlier with NES? Oh, NES, Super NES, N64 did not launch with the new Zelda. Yeah, that's what I said. But yeah, Mario plus Rabbids sequel graphics is on the level of Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, it feels like it. It looks like it is. And Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of the best looking Switch games. And it just looks great. The animation is mind blowing. That's the stuff that looks like animated movie. And one of the things that just kept me playing that game, along with the gameplay, obviously, but it's just visually so appealing. I don't have an OLED yet. I'm going to get one. I'm not gonna buy. I'm only buying the tablet part. I see a lot of people selling them online for like 220, 230 just for the OLED screen tablet. I think I'm gonna do that, and just have, because I don't really like the dock. I like my dock. My dock is custom. Um, and I just kind of want the benefit to see in handheld mode of what the OLED looks like, because that's the only benefit is in handheld. which I have been playing a lot more in. There was a time where an OLED screen would have meant completely nothing to me on the Switch because I barely play handheld. So, but that time has changed. Um, Corana says Final Fantasy Tactics, PSX, or PlayStation versus Kingdom Battle. Who wins? Oof. I don't know if nostalgia is weighing in on this, but I'm going with Tactics. But it could be a lot of that. Just could be nostalgia. Um, I probably had more fun with Kingdom Battle. If I'm being honest, Tyrese Kelly says Luigi Mansion 3 is his favorite Switch exclusive, which is a great pick. It's fantastic. I don't want to say it's slept on, but Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which is Luigi's Mansion 2, is fantastic as well. It's one of the best looking 3DS games. I mean, it has that. It looks really good in 3D. Like it looks really good. Is the game that lets you know that Luigi's Mansion, the original one, was built with a 3D or 3D setup in mind. Uh, Nintendo was gonna ship the game with like some kind of overlay for your TV, so you can get that 3D look. They thought against that because it probably would have been too cumbersome and people probably wouldn't have bought into that. But I like that Nintendo thinks that way, you know. But Luigi Mansion 2 or Dark Moon was the culmination of that idea. They were able to do what they wanted to do with one on the 3DS, and you can tell that that game was built with that 3D gimmick in mind. It was always built with that, with the way with the way it's set up. But yeah, it's great. All right, I don't really have anything else, so if you guys don't have anything you want to discuss, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Sorry to ask if you mentioned this recently. Did you play Xenoblade 3? Did you like it? If you did, I just barely started Xenoblade 3, so I can't really comment on it yet. It looks like it's gonna be good. I know a lot of people like in my crew, in my crew, the Juices Loose crew, who are playing it and who are deep into it, and they're loving it. So I'm pretty sure I will. Two is not my favorite. Um, I liked two, but in order of favorites, it's Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade Chronicles, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, I have a feeling that 3 is going to push it way up. It might even overtake. A lot of people are saying that it's better than X to them. I have reasons why X is my favorite. Um, people will say, "Oh, it's not my favorite because of this or that." Mechs, you know, that's just gonna be my favorite, thing because I love mechs and just the sci-fi nature of it, and the world. I think the world is great. I love the big open world. I spent so much time in the beginning of that game just running, just to see places, to explore. Even though I got my butt handed to me when I ran up on some creature or something. But yeah, let's see. I love Ocarina of Time for the 3DS. Perfect port. Yeah, Ocarina of Time 3DS is great. Ocarina of Time 3D, it is great. My favorite way to play it, Ocarina of Time, will always be the N64 because I'm just a N64 stan. But it's like muscle memory with the controls. I just love using the C buttons to map my weapons and stuff. But it's a really good thing with the touchscreen for Ocarina of Time as well. So, Matthew Shea, you think they try to squeeze in some new gimmick for Switch 2? Another attempt at 3D maybe, or wireless streaming to TV for a Wii U like experience? Um, Both of those things would be great. I don't think they'll do 3D again. Um, I think the biggest reason is battery life. Um, when you turn that 3D on, it cuts your battery life. I don't want to say in half, but it does cut it down significantly. I don't think enough people care about 3D. Sadly, I love 3D. I pretty much play exclusively in 3D on my 3DS for the games that obviously support 3D. So I love it, but a lot of people just didn't care for it. I mean, that's why they came out with the 2DS. People were getting eye strain and whatnot. But I love 3D. So I hope they do something like that. Streaming to the TV like Wii U, that would definitely be really cool. Um, I think that would affect how powerful it is. I don't think Nintendo cares about that. So that wouldn't be really a deterrent. Um, I would like to think Nintendo would come up with a gimmick of some nature, of some kind, for the Switch 2. Doesn't have to be something that turns people off. Oh, it just ruins it. Oh, you're making me play this certain way. Doesn't have to be anything like that. But because Switch was very good about not doing that. It had its gimmicks that were barely supported, but it had its gimmicks, and you could still play the game in a traditional manner. So I think Nintendo's fine where they are right now. They don't really have overly creative. They don't have an overly creative guy in the driver's seat as far as the CEO goes. So I don't know if they'll push in those directions as far as innovation and kind of quirky new things, gimmicks and stuff. I'm not sure if Furukawa cares about that stuff. He doesn't see the value in it. So I don't know because they haven't really supported a lot of the gimmicks on Switch. So I don't know if Switch 2 will have anything, but I hope so. Let's see. Guarana, you might cry, man. You got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. Don't play this in front of your wife. What? Are you talking to me? What am I? Did I miss something there? It's my favorite. Oh, okay. You're talking about Xenoblade. Okay, I got you. It's my favorite. I cried. Okay. My biggest problem right now is time. I'm working two jobs. Um, I don't know if you were here in the beginning, but I just bought a house a year ago, and it took a lot of out of the savings, and so we're trying to re up the savings. That's why I'm doing two jobs. But it's also now that the savings is almost re upped, it's also hard to give up the funds because it's extra funds. Um, I would hope. My hope is that and it's on me. A lot of it's on me, even though I don't have a whole lot of time right now. That I could do YouTube significantly enough to where I make enough to cover. It's not going to completely cover what I make at my second job, but enough to where I feel comfortable letting one of them go. But I have to get some stuff out, get some things in the works. I'm not gonna, you know, start talking about making YouTube a full time thing until I put out videos consistently and do the things I've been wanting to do for a while on my channel. Because I do have some cool stuff. Congrats on the new house. Thank you. Thank you. We love it. Love the house. It's perfect for us. Perfect size. A lot more freedom in here. So yeah, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. I got some shows to catch up on. So I'm looking forward to uh, Mario's trailer tomorrow. Um, and I'll do a reaction to that. I don't know if it'll be a live one. It'll probably just be a post reaction. What I thought. I don't think I can't do a live one because I'm pretty sure I'll get copyright claimed and whatnot. So depending on music or just images, they may not want people without that stuff out there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys for joining and being active in the chat. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I am trying to, like I said, I'm trying to make my presence on YouTube felt more. I do want to, um, at some point monetize it to where I could, hopefully, you know, make a decent income doing YouTube and start really doing the cool stuff. Because I have a lot of, video skills, a lot of video editing skills, a lot of visual effects skills. I'm not like, corridor crew or anything, but, um, you know, stuff that I used to do on the channel back in the day. I would like to get back to that. It was a lot of fun. I like making videos like that, and not just kind of talky, sitting in my gamer chair videos. Um, but I hope to at some point get back to that and provide some good content for you people to get excited about and show up here and you know interact with me and make this channel bigger. So I was in a rut. I was like stuck. I swear I was getting what they call it, shadow banned or something, because my channel would not move subscribers wise, views wise. I actually finally got out of that, crossed the 5,000 subscriber mark, and was moving up. But obviously, my output in videos is really sporadic, so YouTube's not gonna push me if I'm not putting out videos. So I gotta get back to putting out videos. I'm definitely going to be getting my what do you call it? My podcast, my solo podcast. I do want to have people on eventually. I'm looking for people, new folks to be on. I'm gonna do crazy. I'm gonna do back to back podcasts. I'm gonna do one here on my channel on Sundays and then Mondays with Juices Loose. So, but I used to do crazy podcasts back in the day, like 3 and 4 a week. So I can definitely do that again. At some point, not right now. 2 jobs. But yeah, so got to get back to doing what I do my thing, get make it fun again, make it funny. I have some movie review stuff I like to do. Um, that's going to be more skit based. I'm going to review a movie that I wrote in college, and one of my friends directed. It is terrible. It is awful, but that's kind of the joke. It's going to be like a bad movie review of my college film. And again, I wrote it, and they changed a lot of what I wrote. So it's not all my fault that is bad. But it was like a first draft script, and I submitted it because they needed it for the production class. And they were looking for scripts to shoot, doable scripts, and I just happened to have one, so that's gonna be a fun review. So look forward to that. I'm gonna be doing more videos more actively. I'm thinking about kind of doing news every couple of days or so. But my podcast will be consistent every Sunday. I haven't decided if it's 7:30 or 8 yet. I think it's gonna be 7:30. think 7:30 is the time I want to start. That way I'm done by the time my kids have to go to bed for school. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you joining, and I'll see you within a day or two for my reaction to the Mario movie trailer. And yeah, I'll see you. Peace.